You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, Randy Moss is coming out and doing a little bit more talking about actual football. As we know, he had the big health issue. He's coming back. It was announced that he's coming back to Sunday, NFL Sunday Countdown on ESPN, that he's going to return to that show. I will say this. I don't like ESPN studio shows. I had not watched NFL Countdown in probably a decade. All right? Big NFL Network guy. NFL Game Day. Rich Eisen really liked it. Really liked it when it was Michael Irvin, Kurt Warner, Steve Mariucci, and Rich Eisen. Well, they fired Michael Irvin, and I was like, man, I love Michael Irvin, right? He's my favorite receiver of all time. Despite, get this, despite me being a 49ers fan, Michael Irvin is my favorite receiver of all time. I just liked how he played. He was so damn big and physical. And he just fired up that team, you know? I mean, he was a mortal enemy of my Niners, right? And I was a big Terrell Owens guy, not going to lie. Jerry Rice is the GOAT of wide receivers, as far as I'm concerned. Randy Moss is in the conversation, too. Well, I'm going to tell you a guy who Randy Moss believes is not in the conversation. And he didn't hold back on this at all. He gave context of where he stands today among active players, but on an all-time perspective, Randy Moss is like, no, Tyreek Hill is nowhere all-time. Nowhere all-time. He says he's a top 5 wide receiver in the game right now, but all-time, no, he's not involved. Wow, that's wild. Enshrined in the Hall of Fame in 2018, Randy Moss is undoubtedly one of the greatest receivers of all time. By the way, we'll take a look at some stats in a minute. He's number 4 all-time with 15,292 yards. Number 4 in touchdowns, 156, which is made more impressive by the fact that he's 17th with 982 career receptions. That's wild that he did not get 1,000 receptions. That's crazy. Speaking to the media at the event for his restaurant that's now paired with the Dolphins for concession stands at Hard Rock Stadium, Moss noted that the, quote, political answer for best receiver of all time is Jerry Rice. However, quote, if we're talking real football, where I knock your ass out, it's me, Rice said. Or I guess I mean Moss said, via the David Ferrone, South Florida Sun-Sentinel. Who wrote this? Miles Simmons. Come on, Miles Simmons. Get better. Moss said. Not Rice. They're interviewing Moss. As for present day, Tyreek Hill has been one of the league's best receivers of his era. And, of course, they asked him about this because he plays for the Miami Dolphins, right? And this little venture is with the Dolphins. It's going to be interesting to see how the Dolphins react. You just made this connection with the Dolphins. But, you know, there's a lot of fire that Tyreek Hill wants to get traded out of there. Maybe they will. I don't know. As for present day, Tyreek Hill has been one of the league's best receivers of his era, as he's number 7 on the active list with 11,098 yards, but that lands him at just number 42 all-time. Jesus. So there's 6 receivers in the league right now with more yards than 11,098. Huh. Okay. That's pretty wild. That's likely part of why Moss feels the way he does about Hill's status among the game's greats. Quote, he's nowhere all time. Nowhere. He's nowhere all time. Quote, where is he in today's game? Tyreek Hill is probably top 5. I put him top 5. Hill did record one of the league's top seasons in 2023. He finished with 1,799 yards on 119 catches. But Justin Jefferson eclipsed that in 2022 with 1,809, and Cooper Kupp had the number 2 regular season of all time with 1,947 in 2021. Tyreek Hill is coming off a year where he finished with 81 receptions, 959 yards, and 6 touchdowns in 17 games. His 56.4 yards per game was the lowest average since his rookie year in 2016. Hill turned 31 in March. Goes on to see if he'll say, will he have a bounce back year? So, how about Terrell Owens, just for some context? 1,078 yards, 15,934 yards receiving, 1,078 receptions, 15,934 yards, 153 touchdowns. Michael Irvin, 750 receptions. You remember Michael got injured. Also, keep in mind, all right, Randy Moss played more during the passing era. Michael Irvin was out of the league as passing really started to take off in the league. It was much harder for Michael Irvin during his time, and Randy and Jerry Rice, and for a few years Terrell Owens, but he played a long time. 750 yards, 11,904 yards, 65 touchdowns. He's in the Hall of Fame, 5 times Pro Bowler, 6-time Pro Bowler for Terrell Owens. Randy Moss, 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, 5-time All-Pro for Owens. Tyreek Hill, 5-time All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler, 1-time Super Bowl champ. Now, Randy Moss didn't get a ring. And you guys, if you watch this channel enough, you know, look, getting a ring is a big deal as far as I'm concerned. That is a big deal. All right. Let's see. Let's just take a look. Yeah, he had some big seasons. You know, I can't remember if he was injured in 2019 with those 58 receptions. He only played in 12 games. I'm trying to remember if he was suspended because there was an incident at some point in there. So that kind of hurt him right there. And he's 30. Last year wasn't a great year, but Tua was hurt a bunch of the year. So that didn't help. By the way, he didn't name Tua among his top 5 quarterbacks in the league, I think it was. He put Baker Mayfield on there, which I give him some credit for actually recognizing Baker. And I don't have Jerry Rice brought up because, I mean, his numbers are so ridiculous and he played for so long. I mean, I pretty much consider, look, my favorite receiver is Michael Irvin. Jerry Rice is the GOAT. And I guess I've got Randy Moss second and Terrell Owens third. I guess that's my list. But we could talk about a lot of receivers before I would get to Tyreek Hill. All time. Now, right now, yeah, I would say he's probably a top 5 receiver, in the league. Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Jamar Chase. That's for sure, I think, my top 3 guys right there. And I'm sure there's, we could talk about other guys in there too. But that's my top 3 guys. Yeah, so top 5 makes sense for Tyreek Hill. Again, is he going to get traded out of Miami? It's one of the more interesting things, and I think a lot of that's going to have to do with how does Miami start this year? Okay, because I think a lot of people think Mike McDaniel is on a scorching hot seat. And some believe that the Dolphins are just going to fold this year. Although I keep wondering, why do I keep hearing that? If Tua comes back and plays a full season, well, when he plays a full season, we've seen they generally make the playoffs, the back end of the playoffs, but they make it, and then they're one and done. But you would think as long as Tua plays, Mika Fitzpatrick's back on that team. You know, if they don't trade Hill, then they got Waddle and Hill. Darren Waller at tight end's not a great situation. Archan at running back, I like him. I don't know. I wonder how that goes. Now, the thing that's going to be different for the Dolphins is they're used to getting these victories against the Patriots, and they even snuck victories against the Patriots in Tom Brady's era, especially at the first of the year. But this is a different team. With Mike Vrabel, he doesn't prescribe to the same thing that Belichick did, where Belichick was always using the first 4 games of the season as like an extended training camp. And a lot of times the Dolphins would nail the Patriots in that first 4 games and in the heat and all that. I think the Patriots are going to be a much tougher out. And those games against the Patriots may end up being losses this year for the Dolphins. That's going to be a battle. That's going to be a real battle, I think. We'll have to see. This is interesting. Yeah, I saw this, and he said, nowhere near all time. Nowhere all time. Yeah, you're just not all time, dude. Wow. That's bold when you consider he just entered into a business proposition with the Dolphins. I can't wait. Tyreek Hill, I think, has got a podcast. There's no way he's going to let this slide without saying something about it. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Before we jump in, make sure you go to our merch store, our Make Basketball Great Again shirt, and our newest shirt that just came out. Both shirts are brand new. The American Flag Skull Fever Enforcer shirt. And use promo code CC22 for 20% off.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.